Quick reminder before the video starts to enter my WrestleMania giveaway using the hashtag BCOTWrestleMania. Go ahead and enter that on my latest video. I have it linked down below or right over here. You can see which one is, but first link in the description will take you right to the giveaway. Thanks guys, and let's move on to the video. What's going on, you guys? Ryan from WodFix here. Welcome back to a brand new video, and we are going to be restarting the WWE for the second time. The last time I did this video, I believe, was in February of last year. It's been a while, but we're going to go ahead and do it again this time, of course, in 2018. Essentially, we're going to be Vince McMahon, or I'm going to be Vince McMahon in this case, and we have a giant reset button, and we're just sort of going to click it, and now everything has been restarted. We're going to be switching superstars from different rosters, all new feuds and such. It'll all be pretty clear once I hop into it. But before we get into the feuds and whatnot, of course, we have Raw and Smackdown still, and my decision is to change Raw back to 2 hours because 3 hours is unbearable, because in between the first segment and the last segment, a lot of it is just filler, so we're going back to 2 hours. And the GM of Raw is going to be Paul Heyman. I want to see Heyman in a authoritarian figure role. He's been with Brock for a long time, but I think seeing him back as a GM would be very, very interesting. And as for SmackDown's GM, I'm going with the NXT GM, William Regal, because it's going to be refreshing to have somebody, an authority figure that doesn't have to get involved in feuds every single time. And that's what William Regal basically is in NXT. You know, he's had, feuds in the past with guys like Cesaro and whatnot, but that's going to be the GMs. Again, Heyman for Raw, William Regal for SmackDown. But let's go ahead and jump into the first feuds, starting off with Monday Night Raw. So we're going to start things off here with the Raw Tag Team Championships in a feud that I think would be phenomenal. I hope we see soon. The Hardy Boys taking on the Usos. We've got two sets of brothers here going at each other, and just in terms of in-ring action, all of these guys are capable of having phenomenal matches, and I think they would do just that. I mean, even with some stipulation matches like a TLC match or whatnot, you've got two sets of brothers fighting over, not only the tag titles, but who are the better brother tag teams, if that kind of makes sense. There's a lot you could do in this match just with both teams' movesets, with like super kicks and, the swantons and everything. And again, if this was a stipulation match like a TLC or a tables match or anything like that, even throw a third team in here, I think it would be great. When you look over the best tag teams in WWE history, and you look at the 2000s, even the 90s, and the Hardys are a team that always comes up. But if you look at the 2010s, I'd make an argument that the Usos could be number one. They have been good for a very, very long time, especially their more recent run where they turned heel and won the SmackDown titles. A lot of people started really getting attached to them with the Usos Penitentiary and stuff, so I think this would be a great feud, and I'm pretty sure all of you guys would agree. Then for the Intercontinental Championship, we have Shinsuke Nakamura taking on John Cena. Now, the story going into this feud, other than the fact that we're going to try to elevate the Intercontinental Championship like it's a world title, make it seem as important as possible, is going to be John Cena trying to get that Intercontinental Championship, similar to what's been going on with Orton and Rude before Orton won the United States Championship. He was trying to be a Grand Slam champion, get that sort of attached to his resume, and that's exactly what Cena is going to be trying to do in this feud, talking about how he's done so many different things, but the one thing he's never done is held the Intercontinental Championship. And obviously, in terms of a match, Shinsuke and Cena is something we've seen before, and if given even more time, it's going to be really, really good. So as a feud for the Intercontinental Championship, I think this would be great as well. Then for the Raw Women's Championship, we have Asuka taking on Sasha Banks. Now, we have seen this match on Raw, especially I think after the Royal Rumble. They sort of had a match, I believe, maybe even more recently. I really don't pay attention that much. But in terms of a feud, we haven't seen this really. I mean, you've got two girls with great submission moves. And considering how limited right now the women's division is, there just really aren't that many feuds left that we haven't seen. I would throw Ronda probably on SmackDown, but I don't have a figure of her, so I didn't want to do it. But I think Asuka and Sasha could be a great feud. You've got two great NXT champions, and obviously I think Asuka would come out the winner in this one. But in terms of a match, it could be one of the best match combinations the women could have now. So I'm going to stick with this feud and say Asuka and Sasha would be pretty cool to see. Then our main event feud for Monday Night Raw is AJ Styles and Seth Rollins. Now, this is actually a feud I'm surprised we have not seen yet. I know AJ hasn't been here forever, just a few years, but I'm really hoping if there is a superstar shakeup after WrestleMania, we get Rollins and AJ on the same brand, because my God, these two could have a feud for 6 months and I would not get bored. Many would consider AJ and Rollins two of the best in-ring competitors in the WWE right now, and you gotta agree with that. You know they've had matches before WWE that were great, and they've had some moments actually, I think it was that Survivor Series where they've sort of been together, because there's so many possibilities you can do with these guys in terms of so many different matches with stipulations that would all be great. I think you guys would agree Rollins and AJ, something we need to see soon, and something I've got as one of the best rivalries here. Moving on to Smackdown, I would have the Cruiserweight Championship on there, but I can't find my Cruiserweight title. I have no idea where it is. It's not in my plastic bag where all my championships are. We're going to skip the Cruiserweight Championship. I'll actually just leave that up to you guys. You guys comment below what Cruiserweight Championship feud you want to see. But getting into our first feud, we've got American Alpha taking on Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn for the Tag Team Championships. In my world, Jason Jordan is never Kurt Angle's son. We pretend like that doesn't happen. We erase it from the history books, and we've got American Alpha back together, you know. I think Jason Jordan and Chad Gable can do stuff on their own, but Gable and Benjamin just sort of hasn't really worked out, I think, like people imagined. And as for Jason Jordan, you know, obviously he's out with an injury, and I think he was kind of building some momentum, you know, as a heel, with the fans booing him so much with the whole Kurt Angle storyline, and I think he was going somewhere as well. However, in my universe, I don't break up American Alpha because I think they were a great tag team, and I have them going up against Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, who I also have as a tag team. You know these two would absolutely tear the house down because they're all just great in-ring competitors. So I think if you put them up against each other, it would be very interesting to see, and I definitely want to see it, although I don't think it's likely considering Owens and Zayn are probably going to split soon, and American Alpha, well, they're not together. Now, this may be the only feud that I think people might be, you know, on the fence about a little bit, but hear me out. I think Neville and Braun Strowman for the United States Championship would be very cool and interesting, specifically because of the different in-ring styles they have. Now, listen, obviously, most people are going to say that Strowman would just come out the victor because of the size difference. However, I think if you book Neville properly, which I hope they do if he comes back and raise him above the Cruiserweight Championship level, this would be very interesting to have a small guy, big guy feud for the championship. You know, you can do that thing where the Cruiserweight or the smaller guy always goes after the big guy's legs, you know. As a match, I think it would work. I think they can both do it and pull this off as a great feud, but I totally understand if some of you guys are like, what the hell is he thinking? You know, it's just my imagination, so I think it would be an interesting match to say the least. But now let's move on to the WWE Championship match. And I've got Roman Reigns taking on Finn Balor. We have seen this match a few times now. In fact, I would probably have Balor have the Gallows and Anderson with him and sort of put them together in this feud. Unfortunately, I have Rollins on Raw. Otherwise, I would have Ambrose on Smackdown as well, and you can do a Shield versus Bullet Club sort of thing. But in terms of a match, they were very good when we saw them, and I would really like to see a feud between the two for the WWE Championship and see Balor win that title finally. This, just like AJ and Rollins, has a lot of possibilities with different stipulations, and in terms of a quality match, you know you're going to get it because Roman and Finn have had many great matches this past year, and even together they had some good ones. One of my favorite moments is actually Finn actually beat Roman. Was it his debut on Raw? I think it was near it when he beat Roman to fight for the Universal Championship, if I am correct. I think that's what it was. But again, in terms of an in-ring match, this is something I know is going to be great, and I think you guys would agree. But that's going to do it. Let me know what you think down below of the feuds I put together. I'm sure a lot of you guys have your opinions. Again, this is just mine. If you disagree, feel free to let me know. And if you were in charge of WWE, which feuds would you set up? But that's going to do it. Hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a like if you did. If you want to see more of this sort of restarted series, let me know, because I'm sure I can do many different possibilities with it. But again, thanks for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and as always, stay tuned to the next one, which is probably going to be WrestleMania predictions, which I'm excited for. So I'll see you guys later.